Victoria, Australia. Today we're out in the garden on a beautiful winter's day. It rained pretty much all day yesterday and the ground is nice and wet and soft. The plants are looking really happy. I'm happy because there's a bit of sunshine. So I've got a few jobs out in the garden and I thought I would bring you along with me. So the things I hope to get done today are transplanting some of my lettuces. They're growing up quite nicely now and they're just starting to shoot out their first true leaf, so it's time to get them potted up. What I have here is some Butter Crunch lettuce, which is a beautiful little sweet pick and come again lettuce that it has a nice it's a soft but crunchy taste and it's fairly sweet, so it's a beautiful little lettuce, great for salads, on sandwiches, anything like that. And there's a few other things that I hope to get planted today. Some of the things that I plan on is some early purple turnips, some sugarloaf cabbage, some Savoy cabbage, cauliflower, kohlrabi. This is a white Vienna, it's quite a large kohlrabi. There's the purple Vienna kohlrabi and the kohlrabi giganti, which is a really big kohlrabi. Also what I hope to plant is the Brussels sprouts, ruby red. I thought that'd be nice. And the Evesham Special Brussels sprouts and some broccoli. Now these are seeds, I didn't label them too well, I'm afraid. These are either the green broccoli or they're the Romanesco broccoli. Either, that's fine, and I'll keep this packet aside, and when they grow up and I know exactly what they are, I'll label them a bit better, I hope. So that's what I plan on planting and planting up. I have already planted up some other lettuces, such as the Great Lakes lettuce and some pak choi. So they will be going out into the garden when they're probably about 2 inches high. And they're coming along quite well. So then I plan on doing some work in the veggie beds. There's a lot that I need to do before I can start planting out the vegetables. The big flappy shade mesh needs to be tied back. The tunnels in between the veggie beds, that needs to be sewn up and basically the archway put into the tunnels and fixed in place so that I can get my big fat head in. There's also over near my hothouse, I've got a great big long shelf that I would like to get up off the ground so that I can put out my seeds when they need hardening off and get them up off the ground so the rotten snails can't eat them all. So that's what I plan on doing today. That's only some of it, but I do tend to get distracted sometimes. I see a job that needs doing and I lose track. Anyway, so stop waffling, Kim, and get into it. So I've already got my tray ready. All I need to do is transfer the lettuce into the little pots. I've already got it labelled as well, so all I have to do is write in which row belongs to which. So all I do, this is just an old plant, what do you call it, stick, you know, that goes in behind your little plants, and I'm just using it as a little dibber. So all I do is push it down, lift up underneath the roots and that of the plants. I'll pick out one plant with its leaf and tease away the compost and tease up on the plant so that I'm getting all those roots. Look at that healthy root system. Isn't that beautiful? Then I just make a hole feed the roots in like spaghetti and push down and fold in the potting mix into the hole around the base of the plant. There we go. Tuck him in and he's all in his new bed. Ready for the next one. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. And there we go. That will do for this lot. Now I'll just firm down this soil again around these plants. Pop their label back in. And they'll be ready to go back into my hothouse and keep growing until I'm ready to plant again. Now this potting mix that these butter crunches are in is just your basic potting mix for seeds, so it's a seed raising mix. There is a little bit of nutrition in there, but not a whole lot, so they won't grow as fast as these other plants. The potted up seedlings are in a seed growing mix or a seedling mix, and that has a lot more nutrition in it, so therefore they're being fed and they will grow quite well now that they're in their own bed with as much food as they want, and they will keep growing nicely in their own pots. These ones here, they will have to wait until I've got some seeds to put in there, because this is not a seed raising mix. This is a seedling growing mix. So they can go back in the fernery, not in the fernery, in the hothouse. So now we will get to some seed raising, and here I've got it's a tub full of coir, and there's not much nutrition in coir, so you'll find that the seeds have all the nutrition they want. So there we go. I just fill up my trays, press them down. Trouble is with this coir, you've always got this fibrous stuff. Okay, so I think we will start with this broccoli that I don't know what sort it is. So all I will do is take the blunt end of the dibber and just poke a hole in each cell. In my hand, I'll take some seeds. These are just little round seeds. And I will try and put 2 seeds per cell. Right, that's that one. Now, where's our... There we go. Okay, broccoli. And today is the 6th of the 6th. Now, I think we'll put in the Brussels sprouts. I'll use the pen for me dibber for this. That's better. Once again, we'll go 2 seeds per cell. Okay, I'll just put green Brussels and the date. Now, we shall go for the ruby red one. Once again, 2 seeds. Right. Now, got 2 left, so we'll go 1 each of the cabbage. And once again, 2 per cell. Okay, that one was the sugar loaf. and the Savoy. And there's our cabbages. I'll just quickly cover them up. Now these will go back in my hothouse where I have it automatically watered. So they will get a nice fine misty water in the hothouse. Now, we have this one here. Okay, I've got to fill up all these little cups. And put them in here. I like these little cups because you can pull them out at planting time and plant them individually, and you don't have to pull out the whole tray. Okay, I will bring you back when they're all done. Okay, so I got it all filled in and labelled. So what I thought I might do is cauliflower the first row, white kohlrabi the second row, purple kohlrabi the third row, gigantic kohlrabi the fourth row, early purple turnip the fifth row, and the sixth row I've got to get some Japanese white turnip. So that's the way I'm going to plant it out. So we'll start with the cauliflower. This is an all year round cauliflower, and once again I will plant out 2 seeds per hole, and I'll just go through and use my pen as a dibber. The mixture's pretty dry at the moment, so it's falling in on itself a bit, but it'll be fine. They usually find their way. Once again, the seeds are like little balls. Of course, it helps if you don't lose half of them. brassicas seeds are pretty much all the same. Okay, so now we go with the kohlrabi white. Now we'll go for the kohlrabi purple Vienna. Right, now I better start labelling them before I forget. Now, the giant kohlrabi, and ooh rats, I'm out of seed. I'll have to try and find some seed. These ones I'm going to plant a bit heavier. They're going to be about 5 or 6 seeds per tub. And that way, as one gets a little bigger, I can just twist it out and I will have others growing. There we go. I know they're planted. Right, this one here, I'm going to plant up with some flowers. So, what have we got? These little containers, they're wonderful. They keep all my seeds dry and organised. So we have a black bat plant. Okay, the next I think we'll go with phlox. We need some food for the pollinators. These are a beautiful little plant. Come springtime, the garden should be absolutely full of flowers. Lovely. Once again, I'm just going to put in a few little seeds per container. I can thin them out later on. Right, the next will be globe amaranth. The next we have Aster King Size Apple Blossom. A very pretty purple pink colour. The next one, very small. I think I'll wait for that one. I was going to put Lysianthus in. But I think this one goes in basically springtime, so I'll wait for that one. But I do have another back plant, and this one is the white back plant. Okay, that leaves me with one empty space, which I think I'll leave for now. So we have, let's see, phlox, amaranth. Okay, now all I will do is just give this a bit of a tickle. And there we go. Now all there is to do is to put these away in the hothouse, ready for them to be watered, and hopefully within a few weeks I will have some seeds ready for potting up before they go out into the garden in springtime. Barney has decided to help me in the garden today. Haven't you? You're helping Mummy sew up the shade cloth. Eh? I don't think it works very well with you on top of it. Oh, this is fun. Today, what I'm doing is working on the vegetable beds, and what I need to do is finally finish this shade cloth. We get 45 plus degrees here, and trying to grow sensitive summer vegetables such as lettuce, radish, that sort of things that you put in your salad is pretty impossible with that sort of heat. So to keep the temperatures down and to try and stop the vegetables from bolting pretty much as soon as they're put into the garden, excuse me. One, they're put in wicking beds, and wicking beds is just a form of self-watering system on a bit of a larger scale than you see in the pots in your local garden centre shops. This is made out of IBC totes cut in half, flipped open, and there's a solid layer on the bottom I made out of old bread crates. Then there's a shade cloth or weed mat or something of the sort to keep the soil from filling in the bottom, and that gives it like a well that the water can wick up from, hence the term wicking beds. And then I put in a good layer, usually 2 bags of horse poo. I get the bags in, there's a local neighbour that sells horse feed bags full of poo for $2 a bag. So $4 worth of horse poo goes in. Then I will put in a good layer of coconut coir, and that helps to retain moisture and give it the wicking abilities. Then I put in a layer of sand for drainage, and then I put in a good layer of compost, probably a good 6 inches or more of compost, even up to 12 inches of compost, depending on how much I've got. I buy it from a local place, and it's reasonable. It's not inexpensive, but it's reasonable. I have them make up a blend of compost, sand and mushroom compost, which gives it a good mixture that's well draining. And then I put in a couple of tubs of, we get little tubs here of worms, and yeah, each bed is connected, so when I fill up one bed, I'm virtually filling up all the beds, and they're connected through with a pipe that when one bed is full, it will flow on to the next bed. And then there's a drain at the end of the final bed, so that when they're full, it will drain out. If I get heavy rains or anything like that, the beds can't overfill, because the water will drain out. As soon as it trickles through the bed into the sump at the bottom, if it's over full, it will drain out at the end. And yeah, so it would take an awful lot of rain dumping down at one place to fill up a bed, and even then it would drain away quite well. And then over the top I have a big framework, which I've mainly just made out of garden stakes and PVC pipe, and that's for the brassicas. The broccoli gets quite large, and I don't want it sort of, the framework squashing all my brassicas. Even some of the others, such as mustards and so forth, that can get quite large too. But now what I need to do is join this up, and I'll be sewing it down the middle, and then I'll be running an archway in between, so that I don't have to sort of scrunch down like this to walk down the aisles. I can just walk comfortably down the aisles, and it's still all nice and shady. This is, I'm pretty sure it's 50% shade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 50%. Anyway, but there will still be plenty of light for the plants to grow quite well. Then at the sides, I will be hanging bug-proof curtains, ones that I can roll up and tie up where I need to, so that I can get into each bed, and they'll be all bug-proof, so I won't have to worry about the cabbage moth butterflies, or spraying it with that BT spray which kills caterpillars. A lot of people say just pick them off, but yeah, the amount of caterpillars, there's no way you can pick them all off, and they go through all the veggies, and honestly they're only good for chook food. The chooks love it, but I don't. I don't mind a bug or two occasionally. You can't help eating bugs when you're growing organically like I do, but I find the best method is exclusion. So I have some really thick cotton. I think it's like a candle wick, but it's not candle wick, it's that thickness. It's really thick stuff, and a great big darning needle. So even though there's a lot of slack here that you'll see, mainly it's for my purpose so that I can get to and sew it up, and then I'll come through later on and push it up to its extent and put some sort of archway in there. I haven't really decided yet whether it's going to be, it will most likely be a welded mesh that I will use, because I don't want the shade cloth sagging in the middle, because what's the point? So yeah, anyway, I'll get into it, stop dribbling on, and I'm afraid I won't be able to show you any close-ups or whatnot because it just takes me too much to get set up. So I'll just stop dribbling and get on with it. This is the cotton I'm using. As you see, it's more of a twine than actual cotton. So yes, I'll just be running it through and pulling it through like this and then straightening it out. We'll see if that works anyway. So here we are. I've sewn up the centre of the shade cloth and I've put in It's actually electrical cabling to make an archway down the centre of the pods. I'll just take you inside so we can have a look. This has taken a little while to finish because I had to get help for this part. I couldn't do it on my own. And as everyone knows, sometimes when you ask for help, you have to wait until they have time to help. They work on their schedules and not yours. But still, now it's done. And as you see, they've been cable tied in as well as being screwed. So it should be nice and solid. What I plan on doing is bringing this shade cloth as much as I can back to this bar and tying it all on there. And on the inside, if I can get to it, I may or may not yet. I will wait and see. I may just leave it as a big tunnel and just do the outsides, same as I have here with the green shade cloth, and close up the ends. So the inside will be all open, and that will hopefully keep out the cabbage moth butterflies and also create a nice environment for my vegetables during this summer. They should hopefully be able to withstand the 45 plus degrees that we get. And as you see, all the leaves that have come down in the driveway have all been picked up with actually a blower vacuum cleaner, and they're topping the beds. I've still got a bit of clean-up to do yet, and the worms are just loving it. And as you see, some of them are doing quite well. These are mustard plants that just self-seeded, and there's also sweet potato that's self-seeded. That's all doing well. So this bed here needs a few more leaves than that put in there, which I've got plenty put aside, so when these come to seed, I'll be able to save all the mustard seeds for cooking next year. I don't actually eat mustard, but I do use the seeds a lot in preserving food, pickles and stuff like that. So, and over here I have, it's a Japanese white turnip that's about to go to seed, so I'll be saving the seeds from that as well. And a celery, it's doing quite well there too, so that'll be good for preserving for next year's harvest. I need to top this bed up as well. And Miss peas are starting to come up quite well. Anyway, I will probably do a garden tour very soon. Well, that will finish off the this video. It's actually been quite a while, so it needs to be finished off. These were pretty cheap. Picked them up from Bunnings, and as you see, it's made quite a good archway. I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, well, I shall finish off this video and finally get it out to you. I hope there's something in here for each of you. And yeah, think about giving me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. Thanks guys. Bye for now.